I'm Lauren, and I'm from Northfield, Minnesota. I work with both digital and drawing. So I've always been interested in drawing. It's one of my passions. It's one of the things that I do for fun. I like being able to create. So I guess pursuing art in college was sort of a natural thing for me to do, and just looking at kind of the world around me and observing, finding things in nature that interesting patterns, observing what kind of source material there is around me, imagining the ways that these things work together in the universe. I guess that's one of the things that has really inspired me. Biology really inspires my art mostly through the patterns that I can observe under the microscope, or just kind of broad concepts. I've incorporated some of my lab pictures of DNA gels, also just kind of taking patterns from a broader source. It's just kind of has been something that has really inspired me. These sorts of aspects are really a good way to represent science and technology in a visual way that people will recognize. And I think combining the biological elements with a more man-made artificial element, it kind of creates sort of a interesting dynamic between the two elements, something that is organic and something that is synthetic. And that's just something that I found really interesting visually and conceptually. I think there are a lot of elements from the prairie that certainly come into play in my art. I like to draw like wispy grasses that I've seen around Morris, and those are definitely incorporated. So I think living in Morris has influenced my art greatly, from sort of the subject matter that I've drawn, as well as sort of my just being around the people at the university here. It's sort of a different atmosphere than I've experienced in Northfield. Well, I've recently started working on a printmaking project, which is outside of my main medium, but it does incorporate drawing and elements of painting, watercolor. I'm really excited about it because it incorporates elements of things that I've worked on all the way from my freshman year of college up until current times. My creative process usually starts with sketching. I like to just, whether I'm sketching something that I've seen in just in daily life, or if I'm sketching something that just comes to my mind, sort of patterns, more artificial sorts of patterns, or things that patterns that I've observed in nature. I start by coming up with these smaller elements, and then I find ways to incorporate them into a larger composition, and then I start to think about the meaning. What do I want the viewer to take away from this piece? And then once I know that, I kind of start to put all the pieces together that I've collected, and then I just start to draw, and that's the part that I like the most. So the main concept that I want people to take away from my art is just that there is a big intersection between science and the arts. There's value to both of them, and I think that there's really value in anything that people study. Well, the next step for me, I'm not sure yet if I want to go on to study biology or if I want to go on to study art. I know that I want to go to graduate school, so what my plans are for next year is to hopefully get a job as a residential hall director at a university in the United States, somewhere in the United States, and gain experience of doing that, and then in the meantime take classes and decide which path to pursue.